Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. A very happy Christmas to you. It's the 25th today. I'll be putting this up today. I'm sure lots of people won't be watching it because it is Christmas Day. You're with the family and where you should be. But hopefully if you get a bit bored or whatever, you might have a look at it. I want to make an appeal, as the YouTube title suggests. Yesterday there was a video put up by Josh Smith. This is, I'm pretty sure everybody knows him. He's a very young guy. He's not even eligible to go for driving lessons, and he's been working on this Mini for some time now, and he's just had a bit of quite a big knockback. The fact that the engine seems like, from what he's told me, it sounds like maybe there's possibly a big end gone, or it could be anything. It could be a thrust bearing, it could be shells, whatever. I don't know. What I'd like to do is, he seems pretty down, which obviously he would be at his age. We've all been following Josh, and you know, for a lad of his age, he's done remarkably well. There's a lot of people twice his age would have some issues with it, and he's obviously finding it a struggle now. Financially, he obviously is still at school doing his A-levels, and I was hoping, since goodwill, peace and goodwill to all men, that maybe Christmas we could maybe help him out. I know somebody who lives quite close to him who's very good with engines, and I'm going to ask in between Christmas and New Year if he could maybe have a look at it, because he's not far away. Or maybe somebody like Mini Tom, or the guys that are very mechanically have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. Or William Murphy, somebody like William, maybe could take the job on, donate some of their time, and then maybe the rest of us could put something together in his GoFund thing that he has. I mean, even if it's only 50p, a pound, five, a tenner, whatever whatever you could spare. And I think we, as a community, we could actually get this engine running for him. Now, the unfortunate thing about it, I think he's going to do a video on it, but from my understanding of it, I called him right after it because I really felt for him. I thought he'd just put a second-hand engine in, but as it turns out, he actually bought an engine which he thought had been reconditioned. Obviously, he has no experience of engines, and my suggestion to him is, and I think he might agree, is he's not in a position to be able to rebuild this engine. Although technically they're not difficult to build, for the first time, it's something you need a lot of guidance with, and I'm sure we could give him advice and everything else, but I think it would be better if somebody who knew what they were doing had a look at it, because it seems like there was no oil pressure. I asked him some basic questions like, was the distributor still turning, and when you were turning it over and so on. Obviously when it was running, it was. So we need somebody with experience who knows this engine. So if you guys, I'm prepared to do it. I've put quite an investment into Josh, time and money wise. I won't go into details, he knows what I'm talking about. And lots of advice and encouragement and so on. I really want him to finish this project because I think it would be a great life lesson. Something at his age now, if he can achieve this, he could go on and do anything. And I think as a community it would be great for us to do it. If we're going to do some charity work for cancer, or cancer research, or prostate cancer, or whatever, you know, a children's thing, whatever. I think this is something as a community we could do for not a lot of money between us all, and hopefully somebody would volunteer. I would do the engine for him, but economically it's not viable to send it all the way out here to repair it, to take it back. But I'm now prepared to put my money where my mouth is. So if you can help out, it's no obligation to anybody. And maybe you've watched some of Josh's videos, and he hasn't done everything right. Of course he hasn't. We all make mistakes, but he's doing it the first time, and he's a very young guy. He's a teenager, and you know, teenagers are what they are. You know, we've all been there, we've all done it, and you know. But he's learnt a lot, and I think this would be a good life lesson for him. And if as a community we could get around him, I think it would be brilliant. But it's entirely up to you guys. So. If you can, just go to maybe his GoFund page. I'm going to now talk to some people and see if they're willing to help out. And like he said, I think he's at the bottom of the pit at the moment. And I said to him, if you can, put the car away, take the engine out, let the community maybe get together. We'll sort it out, the engine out for you. If it takes 6 months, whatever, it's no problem. He can then go back to the car with an engine that's in good condition and get it back and get it on the road and MOT. So hopefully you're with me on it. If not, it's not a problem. So Take care and a nice Christmas again. Bye for now.
Okay, so I'm going to show you, he sent me this on a WhatsApp, so I'm going to show you the engine. It's not particularly good, the sound, and I'm going to get him to try and put it onto YouTube so it maybe sounds better. Okay, it's a bit short and sweet, but you can hear it on there.
Welcome to all the Classic Car Enthusiasts. So it's the 25th of December. Just for your information, bit of trivia, the 24th is the traditional Christmas in Austria and Germany and Italy, a few places. And in Austria what they do is they put the Christmas tree lights on at 5 o'clock, and that's when the kids get their stuff on the 24th, which is normally your Christmas Eve. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've got. There's a lot more than this, but some of it's for the Jaguars. But I'll just show you some basic stuff and go through it with you. And then I'm going to go on to the mini boot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a series on that. It might be a couple of videos, but I'll show you me fitting it in, putting it together, and how we do it, and you guys can see what you think. Basically, to start with, happy Christmas to everybody. I'm sure you won't be watching this today, but if you are, happy Christmas, and I hope you got everything you wanted, and no problems in the house, no arguments over batteries or toys or whatever. Just as a matter of interest, I'm sure most of you have already heard or will hear today or tomorrow, Silent Night. And when you hear that song, you should actually think of Austria, because it's an Austrian song. It's exactly 200 years this year. It's 1818 it was written by a priest or a minister near Salzburg, a small village near Salzburg. Yeah, so it's exactly 200 years old this year. And I think everybody kind of thinks of it as their own, which it is. It's a universal carol, but it is actually Austrian. As I said, it's a little village near Salzburg, and they had the story goes, they had some problems with the organ in the church, and they designed it so it could be played on guitar as well, which was very unusual even for them days. So there you go, a little bit of trivia. As Michael Caine, the actor, would say, not a lot of people know that. Anyway, to get on with this stuff, so I'll take you through some of the stuff I've got. The mini guys within our little community were very good. I sent money over for them to get me some bits and pieces because it was easier to do it that way and then for me to pick it up. So I have to thank Alex Hart of DJSE, Alex Toon of Alex Toon on his channel, and Tom Shorrock. All three of them got bits and pieces for me, and they had offers from other people as well. And I thank you very much for that, because it's difficult for me to go everywhere in the UK and the time limited that I'm there. So what I did get from Alex, I used to use another material. This is soundproofing, and I think it's heat as well because it's silver backed. And this is this silent coat. It's a bit smaller than what I've been using. I've been using a product from America. There's X-Matte, and also the other one I put into the E-Type. But this is actually better value for money. For the amount you get, this is much better value for money. For the same area, I think these were £80 for a box. £80? I might be wrong there, don't take me on these figures, but whatever they were for a box, they were about £30 a box cheaper than they were from Eastwood, which is the restoration company. And what I do with these, when I'm putting them on, I use something like this. This is a little paint roller. It's got actually a paint roller on it, you can see. And what I do with that is I actually get a broom handle, and I cut the broom handle down and drill a hole through the centre and put it on the shaft. So you can actually make the broom handle the smaller or larger, whatever you want. So when you're rolling on it, you can get it right, especially into the groove where the strengthening grooves are on the minis, on the mini floors. It's particularly difficult to do that, and it was the same on the E-Type. They were about the same. So I made a very small one with a rounded edge on it which fitted perfectly, and you could roll it up and down. The tighter you have it to the metal, the less drumming you're going to get. It's as simple as that. I mean, this is basically an anti-drumming material. In the old days they used felt, now they use this kind of stuff, and it gives you some heat protection as well. So this is what I do. I use one of these, and you can get smaller ones, longer ones. You can even make a little handle up. You don't particularly need a paint roller, but that's the way we do it, and it works pretty well. I have some new lights for the Mini that we're doing at the moment. So I have a pair of those. What I also did was I bought some Mark 1 lights, because I really like these, and I'm going to fit them to the two Minis that I've now have, the two shells, because I really like them, and you can see obviously which way they go up. You can see that these are supposed to be flush to the car, so this is obviously the offside one. Well, it would be for us anyway, for a UK car. Yeah, and you can see how they fit on, very basic, and easy to put these in to a Mark 3 and above car, so you can just basically just put that straight onto the car. It's very easy to do. So I've got two sets of them, because I'm going to make the 1974 and 79. I'll probably make them into the Mark 1 type lights. I won't show you any more up there. I'll bring the camera to show you that. Okay, so the other thing we're doing is I'm taking the shock absorbers off my Mini, and I'm fitting all gas. I really like these. I've got these on my E-Type. I've also got them on both the XKs. They're quite expensive, but they have a marvellous setting range. I think something like 16 clicks on that you can get from top to bottom. So they have a great range on them, and they're really good shocks. So there's the front one for a Mini. Then obviously, that's the rear one I'm talking about. You can see when it goes into the turret top. And then obviously the front one is the same deal, but obviously with two openings either end. So now this is something I've got for the Jaguar. I know most of the Mini guys will watch this, but for the Jaguar anyway, I've got this. This is called, I don't know if you've ever seen one before, but this is called a dynator. So what it is, and obviously suggesting by its name, a dynator, it's a dynamo body but with an alternator inside it. You can see it's pretty heavy. Dynamos are extremely heavy because of their field windings. But with this, you've got the regulator in as you would in a normal alternator inside it, but it looks like an original dynamo. So the idea is you get better power in a 1958 car, which is a nice idea, very clever. So they're called dynators. It's only for, you know, to give it some originality basically. So I think what I'll do is I'll stop the camera and I'll bring you over here so you can have a look at some of the stuff on the bench. So I'll be with you in a sec.